Mark, Grace, Mark, Grace, Mark, Grace, number one, number one, number one, number one, Ride, Sunburn, Ride, Sunburn, Coswin, 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 Grace, Grace, Carrie, Woods, Carrie, Woods, Carrie, Woods, Carrie, Woods.
Good to see you.
How you doing, sir? Sky is blue. Let's play too.
I tell you now, I hear that you always know how many days are left till opening day. Is that true?
Yes, but they've been changed off and on, with the strike and everything. So we got to figure out what day it's going to be, So.
Well, you know what I heard? I heard it's April 7th.
I used to add up the minute, the second, the hour.
That's what I heard.
And then, like I say, it's opening day. Every second go by, you get closer to be safe again, So it's just real nice that baseball is back again, Baseball brings people together with things going with the world today. We got to think something, and baseball brings people together, and that's what it's all about. You have to really enjoy yourself and just be happy and be thankful, that baseball is an American game, People live for baseball, So I'm glad that everything's settled, but now we're going to get ready to play ball. A nice day today, so we just do what we have to do and just see what the Cubs going to do, They in it to win it, Every team wins 60, lose 60, and 60 up for grabs.
That's it.
So that's what it is. So we're going to destroy this,
It's kind of like our politics, right? We got about 45-45.
No, baseball is just bring a lot of joy,
No, you're right, and it's a rite of passage every spring, and it's rebirth. It's just starting fresh.
It's starting fresh, and every team got a chance to win, And let's see you make the playoffs. Get ready for the World Series. Every team got a shot. They all professionals, So just go ahead and just think that baseball is back again. To have fun again. It's just so beautiful, American sport. I want people to know that baseball is the number one sport. What I would like for them to do, Major League Baseball or Hall of Fame, wear a uniform. When they go out for events, the people that retire come back and put back on the uniform. Let people know, because if somebody go out to an event, like the Hall of Fame, all them ex-players, put on a uniform again. Don't just drop it because you retired. You feel good about putting it on. I put this on because I feel good. It lifts me up. I'm quite sure some of the ex-players, the retired players, they go back and when they go out to the event, put on the uniform again. It'll just be real good. You feel about just putting it on, and your joy, your mind, your thoughts. It's just wonderful. Put the uniform, like the late Buck O'Neill say, be proud of the team you support. It's all baseball. It's all about baseball. So every team should put the uniform on. Even Harold Reynolds and all them guys that retire on Major League Baseball, I think they should just once in a while put the uniform on, let people see. You feel good with yourself, because now it's things changing. The time you put the uniform on, it'll be great for the game. It'll be great for the fan. It'll be great for the baseball fan. I wear my uniform 365 days a year, but it's people see me and they stop, take a picture, sign an autograph. But it's happening, it's joy. People look forward to seeing. So I think they should make it.
Should I go here?
Go straight.
Straight, okay. Well, you have some friendships with some pretty important baseball people, including Jack Brickhouse, which
Oh, Jack was he was way before Harry Carey,
Right, and I saw a clip on him last night where you mentioned the Cubs, and they've been around since 1876. Should I go here?
Yeah, I think it's in there, yeah.
They were one of the first teams ever. And that's American history, you know. It's that was right after the Civil War.
So it's amazing, you know. Baseball brings so much love to people.
And Buck O'Neil, you had a relationship with.
Well,
right?
Buck was
Hall of Famer also.
He was the master of all, you know. He brought love to the game. People see the late Buck O'Neil.
Should go this way. Yeah. We're right now in Graceland Cemetery.
Yeah. I think they find a way to go and they can tell you where it's at. Just to go, I don't know exactly where it's at. Just go to the gate and they point it out to you.
Some really famous Chicagoans are here.
Yeah, is Al Capone here? I don't know. Some of them here, yeah. I don't know. Go to the office and. Rest in peace.
Now, Buck had a saying that you adhere to, right? Doesn't cost anything to be nice, right?
Yeah, Buck said, don't cost nothing to be nice and love the game and be kind to people. Because we all human, and with the love of baseball bringing so much joy, we should try to. Baseball give us joy, and we should try to bring that joy out to the people, all over the universe. Bring it out to the people. It just real, the love of the game is just real nice.
Who do you think instilled that love of the game in you? Was that?
Well, my grandmother taught me about the game, but then the late Buck O'Neil, I used to see him when he worked for the Cubs for 30 years. In the office, me and my friend Debbie, we used to go to the front office and talk to him all the time, you know. And he used to look forward to hear me out there, you know.
Really? He was a Cubs coach for a while,
He was the first
African-American coach
in baseball, yeah.
And he also played in the
Negro League. He played in two World Series, 2 or 3 World Series with the Negro League, you know. He was great, and he always talked about the ball game. How baseball brings people together. You hear the crack of the bat, you know, you throw the ball in the glove, the sound of the glove.
You think up here would be
Where you go in at, they could over there they could probably show you. They could tell you just where it's at. If not this one, it's the next one. There's 2 of them.
It looks like a fox. See it?
Yeah.
That's a fox.
That's a fox. Yeah.
Well, it's got a collar. It sure looks like one, though. That guy's looking at it, making sure it's... Doesn't that look like a fox? Yeah. Wow, it sure does look... I mean, I've seen fox before. And that's a fox tail.
Wow.
That's crazy. Big one too. He's in the woods there. See him? No?
Where?
He's right in the. See him? You can see. He's in those trees. He's digging now.
I can't see.
He's right. When I turn, you'll be able to see him. He's digging around in those trees there. He's kind of brownish. Is he moving now? He's still moving to the left.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Wow, this is really a gem in the city here. This is really something.
You can go over here and sit by. Instead of going to the lake, just come here. Little pond, whatever it is.
Wow.
probably see the turtles, everything out here.
Fox,
Yeah, fox swimming around.
rabbit.
You forget you're in Chicago.
Yeah, you really do.
There
Here
it
we
is,
are.
Right there.
Where?
Right here. Yeah, right here. See, they redid it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, right there. We finally found it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see now. Remember where it is, Ron.
If I can park here.
It's right there by the water. Lake Avenue. Right here.
He was the man.
Yeah, he was.
Now he got these kids now, he making all this money now. He had fun though. Win or lose. 25, 28. Wow. That's amazing. They did a good job on that statue. Yeah, they did. Wow. Wonder where they bury Santa with.
Well, he's here, right? Or no, he might be.
I don't know where
So, what were your interactions with? Or you said you met him many. You met him many
a lot of times we
times.
talked. He was he always talked about the Cubs, you know.
Hmm.
When they're down by 1 run, or down by 10 run, he always figured they could win it because you got to get 27 outs. You know, you can always have a chance to win it. Men get on base, bunt, sacrifice flies, wild pitch, pass ball, win the ball game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just amazing. What a that faith in you believe in, that you can do it. You know, that's a good part about it. That's one thing about baseball. You never know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You can be running and running and running and running and running. You still be safe, you know. So I just look at it, it's just there's so much joy, you know. It's a fun game, and everybody loves the game. There's no time on it. That's what's so important. There's no time on baseball. You know, basketball, you got football, you got time. Hockey, you got time. Period. Baseball, it's no time on baseball, and that would make it so good. You know, you can play 9 innings, or you can play 18 or 19 innings. You know, so one time in Wrigley Field, they played 22 innings. I guess the Phillies win. You know.
Yeah, I remember that game. I was playing. We went out. They were losing so bad. A bunch of friends went out and we played a pickup baseball game. And we came back, and the game was still playing.
You know, 23 to 22, something like that.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah, that was the big thing, though. So that's what makes so joy about it, you know.
Now, you know, that's what Buck O'Neill said about you. You see you doing your thing, and there's so much joy in what you're doing.
I always want people to know, you know, you come to Wrigley Field, you just enjoy the sunshine and be happy, enjoy the times, you know. And plus baseball is so good to bring so much joy to people. You want people to know that you can come out here and just to be yourself, forget about what's going on with the world, enjoy a ball game. And that's what's so important about the whole game. Baseball, and Ernie said that, and Buck said that too, you know. He said, just come out there and enjoy yourself, you know. And the beautiful part about it, like I said many times, there's no time limit on it. You can play 1 inning or 22 innings, but it's just a good time, you know. I want people just come out and enjoy yourself, you know. Time change the night costs a little more, but you still got baseball. And I want people to know that you can come out to Wrigley Field enjoy the game. Make a lot of noise, scream, holler, and you'd be surprised how much cheering help the players. Because they can get in, when they bat and you can hear somebody cheering, and it helps them too. You know, they want to try hard and want to get that hit or get that pass ball or strike that guy out. I mean, the fans play a big part of the baseball. You know, what would baseball be without no fan? Or any sport. You got to have fans and people to root them on, you know. Every town say they got the best fans in baseball, you know, because they support their team, you know. And Ernie set an example, Buccaneers, so just come out to the ball game, enjoy yourself. Enjoy every morning, sunshine, meet people, greet people, all nationalities. All bring it to the game, you know. And I want people just come out and have fun. Don't worry about what they say, what they think. Just enjoy your life and just have fun at the game. Just think, where would the world be without baseball? I don't know where I would be. I don't have no idea where I would be if it wasn't the baseball. But every year I look forward when they supposed to come time to play ball.
Well, you you grew up in, you know, when I was getting ready for this talk, you know, when you learn about what you've gone through personally in your life and
Well, you know,
the challenges.
like the late Buccaneers say, we go through the ups and downs, but the way they did it there, that's the way they did it. Everything different, you know. But then you can still be nice and enjoy the ball game. You don't hold no hate against nothing because God loves everybody. And He wants everybody to love everybody. And everybody like baseball. When you play have 162 games, and you meet people, greet people, and it helps your life and your lifestyle, you know. So come out to the ball game and have fun.
Now, you played ball growing up, right? You're a lefty, right?
I played with Chicago Cats on the south side, you know. One time I went 7-7, you know.
Chicago Cats, was it?
It was a neighborhood team, you know.
Huh.
Chicago Cats.
Now, I saw you played at some stickball in like 48th and Evans area, right?
Yeah, I played softball with stickball, you know. We had our bats, our broomsticks we had back in the day, you know. We didn't have no bats, you know, but we made out what we made out of, you know. We had fun with it though. You could walk down the street, the caller guy come out, pick up games, you know, and enjoy it, you know. It was just fun then, you know.
Did you live nearby that park that were you close to there?
Oh yeah, I played probably 2 blocks from there, you know.
Okay.
It was a vacant lot, you know. We played ball there, you know.
Is your childhood home still there?
No, it passed on. It's gone on, you know.
What was it torn down, or do you know?
It was torn down.
Because you grew up. Now I'll get to your grandmother in a little, but you grew up. You were born right when the Federal Housing Authority redlined certain areas of certain cities where they wouldn't lend anymore. They wouldn't insure the mortgages anymore.
Right.
And you were right in the heart of that.
Yeah, but that showed that when the late Mayor Daly all in the housing, things like that, and they had different wards. It was segregated. The blacks on this side, the whites on this side, the Spanish. You know, it was all segregated then, you know. But and everybody was went by the rules, you know.
But the rules were pitched against you heavily, against people that lived in those areas, because they wouldn't loan anymore to people, and those areas saw incredible decay and poverty, and you were wrapped up in all of that, and you know, did you, when your grandmother brought you up here, is this when you thought this was your way out?
Yeah, this was, I would just come up to the ballpark and just enjoy, just get away from it. I want to be bothered with some people who's doing bad things in the neighborhood, you know, and I just wanted to get out of didn't want to get caught up in that, so I get a train, come up to the ballpark, get on the train, I take a bus, get 25 cents to get, 20 cents to get the train, come up to the ballpark.
How old were you when you started doing that? Did you come up by yourself?
I came up, I was about 17, 18 years old. Come up to the ballpark.
So this was in 57, 58?
57, 58. I was about 18, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But my grandma used to take me before then when I was about 16, 12, 16. Every time Jackie came to town,
Mm-hmm.
Jackie Robinson would come to town around June, 3 times a year. So they had 18 then. Every team came in 3 times a year.
Oh.
So one at a time, when Jackie come in, one of them times I would see Jackie, you know.
So there were only 2 divisions back then, East and West, right?
It was
And-
just American League and National League.
yeah, American National, right.
So then every team, if you miss them in April, catch them in August, or you catch them in September. When the team come in town, but anytime Jackie would come in town, it was chaos, you know.
And you've seen it, so you saw him play many times. Then.
Yes, I saw Jackie play many times.
Now, was you?
They was always sold out, you know, 'cause if you figured half of the South Side, people wanted to see Jackie, you know.
Was your grandmother a baseball fan as well?
She was a baseball fan. She just taught me how to keep score.
Did she?
Taught me how to keep
Oh,
score.
so she's a real fan.
You know.
And was she in your life a lot? Growing up, was she around? Did she live nearby? And
Yes, I stayed in a front apartment. My grandma stayed in the back apartment.
Oh, so she lived with you.
In the front. Back then, you had a front apartment and a back apartment. You know, she would come down the hall and feed me. You know.
And she passed in '84. Do you know how old she was when she died?
She born in 1820. Cause she was born in 1820. My mother born in 1920, and my sister born in 1940. So it's like a 20-year difference, you know.
Oh, okay, so she was probably 1895 or somewhere around there.
18, something like that, yeah.
Because okay. Was she born in Chicago, or
She born in Chicago, yeah.
Okay. Now usually there's a spot over here. Oh, thank you. I'll back up. Sorry about that. Oh, there's someone behind me. Okay.
People like that.
I've got this car I got recently, and it has a it beeps when you're close to something behind you. So I didn't hear the beeps yet. So.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, it's our new used car, 2009. Well, it's busy down here now.
Yeah. We go in the back room.
Okay. So, you know, I want to get a couple things out of the way, just kind of fun stuff. Nick Mantis, who was, I think, the cameraman on your documentary.
Oh, Nick, yeah, he was a wonderful guy, yeah.
He said something which is very true for me, except it's interesting because he said everybody knows where they were when they first met Ronnie Woo Woo. And my story is I was in fifth grade or so, fourth or fifth grade. I was growing up in Riverside, the suburbs, and my friend John Sensor went to a game with his family, and he came back. So I hadn't seen you or anything, but he told this story. He goes, yeah, there was this guy at the park, and he was going, trio, woo, trio, woo, trio, woo, and he was, and I never forgot that to this day, and I had never met you, but I knew you. I knew of you. That's the impact you have.
Trio. Where you gonna park at?
I don't know. That's a good question. Let's make another round. And the other thing I realized when I was looking into you, and you've got so many videos on YouTube, you've been everywhere. Ronnie Woo Woo, you're at Black Hawk celebrations, you're at Soldier Field, you're at Obama's inauguration, you're at Ron Santos' funeral, you're everywhere, you know.
Harry Carey's funeral.
Yeah.
Jack Brighouse funeral. Yeah, that's amazing.
Maybe how about this? How about I drop you guys off? And now, what's best? What do you guys think? Maybe I should spin it around and go get to the front. But I noticed when I imitated that, when I did the trio whoo, right? I'm breathing out when I'm doing the whoo. But that's not how you do it.
It just...
You're going in. You're breathing in. So when I tried that, I tried to imitate it. I couldn't even make a sound. When did you realize you had this talent?
I had no idea. It's just something it just came to me one day. I started just having a lot of fun, you know.
Were you like 10 years old or?
Oh, about maybe
12?
13 or 14, something like that.
Now, was that when one of your grade school teachers said at an auditorium event said make a lot of noise? Is that when you came up with it?
Yeah. Make a lot of noise. I was so loud. It just how that come about. I'll never forget this. Make a lot of it's amazing how things just come to you. You don't plan now, you just let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all for joy and happiness, you know. Just have fun with it, y'all. It's amazing how just coming up at the Wrigley Field, the feeling that you get being at the ballpark.
It's your home, right? It's like some way your home.
Home away from home, yeah. And I always come to the Wrigley Field.
Now I've heard you've been to 3,000 games. Is that normal?
Yeah.
So there's 80 games in it. What is it? 81 games in a season.
And then they had double headers then, you know, so back then they had double headers, so stay for 2 games. People come up here at 10:30 and it's a double header, you won't get on to about 5:30 or 6 o'clock.
For you to get 3,000 games, that's like, so that's 10, that's like 40 years of going to every game, home game. It's like 38 years or so.
Yeah, but it's been a long time.
I mean, there's obviously no fan that has been to more games than you. That has to be a fact, right?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them. How you doing? I was busy.
Should I go to the corner there?
We can park it.
I'll let you guys out.
Yeah, come on. You just called.
Thank you.
Here, come in this door right here, Ronnie. That's live. Come in right here. Go inside that door over there.
Oh, we're in the special room here. Sluggers. Oh, a lot of history on these walls, huh? Yeah, let's do this. Here, I can get that. There it is. Nice. Okay, well, we've settled in at Slugger's with Ronnie Woo Woo Wickers. And we were talking about your growing up on the South Side a little bit. And up until the point where you were about 18, and that's when you started coming to Cubs games on your own, right?
Right.
And so at that point, you were coming up here and you were living down there. So when did you you started working at Northwestern? When did that come
I
in?
started working at Northwestern around 1960s. And I started working at Northwestern. I used to work from 5 in the morning to 1:30. I would get off, but then I wouldn't take my lunch. So I got off at 12:30 and went to the ball game. So people thought I didn't work because I started at 5 in the morning and I would get off at 1:30. For my lunch hour, I would go to the ball game. So people have no idea because I at the ball game every day. And I want to cheer, Cubs with me and you and your buddy Ronnie Woo.
So that's when you were 18, that's when you really started hitting the park, like almost every game. Every game,
because I was, like I said, I would go to work in the morning and I get off at, supposed to get off at 1:30, but I didn't take no lunch, so I get off at 12:30 and I would go out to the ball game. So people didn't think I worked, but then it was just, and I just had to coming out there, getting the crowd going, Cub, Jody, Sandberg, Lanier, Trout, Sutcliffe, Cupfield, Southcliff, Cosman, Jose, Trio, Monday, Dave, Buzzello, Cosman, come on in. I would just get the crowd going, and this was before. Then Harry Carey come on, and I go, Harry, Carey, and I just had a lot of fun with the sunlight and green grass. It just a lot of joy. I bought a lot.
Sure. So you were coming up. You were still living down in 48th Street, right? And you were
Right,
coming
right.
up. You would take the train
Take
to
the train.
Northwestern,
Right.
and then you would work an 8-hour shift, 8 or 9 hour shift.
Right.
Then you'd go straight to the park
Straight to the
because it was
park.
all day games then.
All day game. Everything was day game.
Every day was a day game.
Day.
And then you'd come home after. So you're up here on the north side for 12, 13, 14 hours
Yeah.
a
because-
day.
A day, because the park opened up at 10 in the morning, but I always get there right before the game time, so it was just a lot of fun. I spent my whole day up here. Then I would go back to the south side and go back home, then go to work at Northwestern and do it again all over again. That was just a lot of fun. And so I just want people to know that it was a lot of joyful time. People was out making noise, cheering on the team. Ernie Banks would come out, Cihla would come out, Perky would come out, Trio would come out, Rick Monday would come out, Dave Uzella would come out, Larry Bidner would come out, Bill Buckner would come out. I go, Butler, and then he would wave his gloves, It was just a lot of fun up there, and they would recognize me. And you could hear me all over the ballpark, It was just a lot of joy. And people would come to the ballpark, they come to see me. I just come in for the fun of the game and for the fans, for the Cubs fans to come to Wrigley Field to see me and see the Cubs.
Sure.
And the Cubs didn't play that day. I would sometimes come out here just hanging around the ballpark because I just want to be with the fans.
Even when they weren't playing, you would come
I
around.
would come around the ballpark, and people would look forward to seeing me. And I made a staple of myself of just going out to the ballpark and just having a lot of fun. I would look, call, and there was so much joy. It was just a joyful feeling, a happy feeling. People knew that they come to Wrigley Field, they would look forward to hearing me.
Sure.
Seeing me, I would sign autograph, I'd take a few pictures, and just a lot of fun. And I had my uniform on. Like the late Buck O'Neill said, you wear your uniform. Let people know that you love, I love the game. I love people. And it go through life, it don't cost nothing to be nice. I want people to come to Wrigley Field or any other ballpark and just have a lot of fun and be happy. And that's why I try to bring a lot of joy to the people, because you go through life, it don't cost nothing to be nice. If you ever went to school, if you never graduated, whatever, just come out and have a lot of fun and be nice. Bring joy and smile to people. And that's what I try to do.
Where do you get this joy? I mean, we before this we went and saw Ernie Banks's gravesite and Graceland Cemetery and had a nice peaceful moment there. And your grandmother, she showed you a statue up in Loyola campus, right?
Right.
She said, when you're ever feeling down,
Yeah, I would-
come here.
I would go up there by Loyola University, and there's a statue of Jesus up there, and I always pray. I would say a prayer, because she was always told me, if you have a problem or didn't understand them, you come here and say a little prayer, and Jesus will see you through. And that's the joy, the spirit. And then the Cubs have a lot of spirit too. No matter what you happen, you just come up here and say a little prayer. It was just real nice, and it was understanding, and the spirit would come upon you. And like Ernie Banks, he had a lot of spirit for the Cubs, a lot of spirit. He want people to know, come to beautiful Wrigley Field, win or lose, just have fun and be happy.
Now you've seen probably both sides of human nature going in your time here, but it seems to me that you see the good in people.
Well,
you see,
no matter what you do, it's good in everybody. No matter what they look like, where they come from, it's good. We all have a heart, and we have love. We have a lot to be thankful for. So no matter what you do, how your mind is, it's some good in everybody.
Mhm.
Because no matter what you do in life, you're gonna think right before you do wrong. Then you make that decision.
Mhm.
But you can always be nice to people.
Did you get? What did this park and this team
Well,
give you?
Well, the park, the team, the joy, and the people. The people, I mean, I just wanted to support the Cubs. That's one thing Ernie Banks was. He was very loyalty to the Cubs. No matter what they say, he was loyal to the Cubs. And the late Buck O'Neill said, he was loyal to the Cubs and he was loyal to baseball. And I'm loyal to baseball and loyal to the Cubs. One owner of all these teams offered me a job with the Colorado Rockies to be the mascot. And I turned it down. I said, I'd rather stay with the Cubs.
When was this? That's interesting.
This was about maybe 5 years.
Really?
5 or 10 years ago.
So they saw in you
That's all in me. But
the pure joy that you bring to the game.
And I bring to the game. And several clubs asked me, would I go to another club and we'll pay you? I said, no, I'd rather stay with the Cubs. They can't trade me and they can't fire me. So I just want people to know that you got good in everybody. The owner of the Colorado Rockies, he saw it and we were sitting in a sports corner one day and we were sitting down talking about it, So he told me, he said, you do a lot of job. We all know about you, Ronnie, but they know I'm a Cub fan.
Do you think this city impacts your decision, or is there something special about the people of Chicago?
It's just Chicago's a good town. Chicago's like this. You turn it over like that, it's the heart of America. Chicago's the heart of America, and the city is a good city, And the Cubs are good for the city, Well, there were several teams here, though, but I'm a baseball fan, and the Cubs come first.
Sure. Now, you had a rough patch in your life in '84, and
Well, my friend, my girlfriend at the time, Anita, passed away in '84, and then my grandmother passed away in '84. It was tough, though. But then what got me through that year, the Cubs had a good year. They won the division the first time since 1945, and it was a lot of joy. And then with the Cubs doing how far they went, at that time, it took my mind off Anita passing away and my grandmother passing away. So it just, it really helped me a lot. But just cutting, and fans helped me too by just Ronnie, and I just did a lot of fun. So it helps out a lot, though,
Yeah, and that same year you lost your job of 25 years.
Yeah, I lost my job at 25 years, and then I became homeless. But then I just kept going to the ball game. A lot of people didn't know I was homeless because I would go here and go there and just be nice to people, and people was nice to me.
Now, so you were homeless for maybe the mid '80s or so, early to maybe 1990. And when I prepared for this, when I talked to your friend Janet, and she told me the story. You've known her now for 30 some years. 30 some years now.
She helped me out when I was going through what I was going through. She helped me out. Then she helped me get my apartment together and things like that. So it was just a blessing.
Well, I love the story she told me. She was from small town West Virginia, and she was going to school at Notre Dame, I guess, in the taking film classes. And she moved to Chicago like a lot of kids coming out of college. They go to the big city, nearby. And some friends brought her to some games in '89. She got hooked. And she went to the 1990, that was the year we started the Shawanometer, is '89. So we, similar paths. And So then in 1990 at the Cubs convention, she was there. I was there too. I was at the Cubby Bear booth. I had my T-shirts and Shawnometer, and so her goal, big goal at that Cubs convention was to get Mark Grace's autograph. And so I've been in those big halls, those assembly halls with the Cubs players. There's hundreds and hundreds, maybe if not more than 1,000.
There's thousands.
Thousands of people.
A lot of people come in, and it was a big thing there for the Cubs convention. You know.
Sure, because they had, yeah, that was after '89. That was
Right.
So she's in this cavernous room, and she's at the back of the room, and you come in your uniform. She doesn't know you from Adam. She thought you were a baseball player, and you talk to her. If I get anything wrong, just let me know. And she asked you, would it be possible to get Mark's Grace autograph? And you took her by the hand, and you started doing your thing with Grace Wu, and you got closer, and you got him to sign her ball, right? Is that part of it? Is
That's
that right?
true too, because I used to see Grace at first base, and I'll be in right field somewhere. And I'll go, Mark, oh, Grace, oh, Mark, oh, Grace, oh, Mark, oh, Grace. And he used to nod to me and wave his gloves, you know.
Ah,
And, you know, so therefore, you know, I mean, my voice was so loud at the time, you could hear me all over the ballpark. You know, it was a part of the coming to Wrigley Field to hear Ronnie Woo.
sure.
You know, so it was just great. That it was all in good fun, though. You know.
Sure. So here she is, and then she discovers that you're homeless, and you become friends. And her take was, here's this guy that helped me achieve my goal of getting Mark Grace's autograph, and yet he's homeless, and that she couldn't, wrap her head around those diametrically.
Well, you know, I sort of stayed out to myself, and then I just come to the ballpark, take one day at a time.
Mm-hmm.
I figured the next day would be better than the next day. So it was something I really be very spiritual. I really believed in.
Mm-hmm.
That it was being, God would see a way. He'd take his time with his steps. And so it just worked out the way it worked out, though.
Sure.
And it's a blessing, though. You never know what God will put in on your mind. It's just like back in the day, Branch Rickey helped out Jackie Robinson. Helped Jackie Robinson get his start. And so you never know. God has his angels looking out for me. And Janet was one of my angels that looked out for me, so I did try to pass it on. You go through life, it don't cost nothing to be nice. Really trust in Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jesus knows, like I always make a joke, say, Jesus the quarterback, he call all the plays. You can't strike him out, he catches everything. So just the Spirit of God in you, and the Spirit for the Cubs, and like Ernie always says, just come to beautiful Wrigley Field, enjoy this ballpark. It's just amazing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's, you've brought so much joy to a lot of people as well, and you've had a few angels in your life, and I'm sure you've touched people in your way too, and brought a lot of joy to a lot of people.
Well, people come to Wrigley Field and they see me, they say, well, I have to see Ronnie Woo Woo. I have to see Ronnie Woo Woo. They would hear me, but they didn't see me, but they would hear me, and they hear me, then they see me. I would sign an autograph, take a picture, and it was made that day, whether the Cubs won or lose, they saw Ronnie Woo Woo, they was happy. So it was just, I bring some joy. And all over the city of Chicago, everywhere I go, people stop me, sign autograph, take pictures, invite me to birthday party, invite me to graduation, invite me to weddings, things like that, And I crashed a few weddings because I was out in Arizona and it was a wedding, and I didn't know. People recognized me, said, come on in, Ronnie. And it was just, it's amazing.
Now, when we were over at Graceland earlier, you had mentioned that you had met Ernie many times. A lot of these players you knew personally. You said you talked to Minnie Minoso lots of times.
When Sluggers now, I talk to Minnie all the time. We sit and talk hours and hours about baseball, how the time changed, how the prices change, and how the integration of baseball, how it's changing now like it was years ago, you know, with the Spanish, the Cubans, the Puerto Ricans, all mixed. It's all together now, you know. And it's all
It's
for
better.
The love for the game. It's better for the game.
Game is better, much better now.
So now the game is it changed now, but then all nationality get chance to play America's game, Major League Baseball. That's the beautiful part about it. So it's time changing, people change, but baseball's still baseball. And people got to realize that you come out and you play the game, you got to get 27 out, and all nationalities can play the game. So like Minnie always said, just have fun, no matter what you do, be nice to people, and play the ball game.
Now, you've been to the Hall of Fame, right, a few times.
Yeah, I've been to Hall of Fame, you know, and I think it's nice to see all them old-time ball players at the Hall of Fame, you know, and it's just real nice to see them and have them take pictures, sign autographs. You know, a lot of people heard about them but never saw them play.
Sure.
So now it's just time that people are doing it now, and just you can see them. So I say, put the uniform back on, so some people will recognize you. You know, with the Cardinals, Giants, Mets, Yankees, Dodgers, anybody get to the Hall of Fame, put the uniform on for that day. I think Major League Baseball should do that for the love of the game.
Well,
you don't retire and just drop the uniform. Put it back on. It got you started, so you got to keep it going.
it makes sense. You look at baseball's probably the only sport where the manager wears a full uniform, which is, you think about it, we're used to that. But could you imagine a professional basketball coach wearing the basketball uniform, coach? No, it's just that's what's done in baseball. But have you brought your idea to anybody? Have you proposed this?
I intend to get in touch with ESPN or Major League Baseball and said that at the All-Star game or the Hall of Fame game, have the people that retire that's going to be on that stage put back on the uniform so people can see with the name on it. And I imagine once they put back on the uniform for one day or so, it'll be better for them. They feel good with themselves.
Your father died when you were 11, right? Or
Right.
9.
9.
My father died when I was 11. But I remember, like you talk about the uniform. When was the first time you wore a uniform? Do you remember that?
Well, I think it was about, I was so skinny, I wore a pair of kids' uniform, and I would put on a t-shirt on. And I just wore it just to be goofing around, and it is something that stuck with me, you know. Then I had blue jeans and a woo-woo t-shirt, you know, and then I put woo-woo, and I just kept wearing them. And I said, I don't wear it all the time. Then people invite me to parties, and Ronnie, you got to wear your uniform when you come. I go to graduation, go to weddings, you know, things like that, you know, and then people look forward to seeing me, you know, so it's just great though, you know, and then to get your mind out what's going on now, you find some kind of small joy in your life when you see a baseball uniform or any other kind of uniform.
Well, we must have the same DNA, because I remember it was literally one of the happiest days of my childhood when I was driving with my father. I must have been 10 years old. And it was a day that he bought me a Cubs uniform. He bought me a Cubs uniform, and I wore it to kindergarten. I think I was in kindergarten, so maybe I was younger probably. And I remember wearing it to school the very next day, the full uniform. I got a lot of looks and a lot of people like, what is this kid doing? You know, but I was unashamed. I was going to wear my Cubs uniform to school. That's pretty funny.
Like this, like back in the day, in the 90s, one guy for Cincinnati Reds, he left the dugout and went up on a rooftop and had a uniform on.
Oh, one of the players?
Von Dibble, I think it was Dibble, somebody. He left, he played Cubs playing the Reds that day. He left the dugout, came out the ballpark, and went up on the rooftop with the uniform on.
That's great.
Just like that, you know, but he had a uniform on. He always wanted to see the rooftop, so he saw it. But it was all in fun, though. He didn't mean no harm, he just liked baseball.
Right.
And so he just spread the love, just like that.
Certain players like that, you know, they had that, like Roger McDowell, you know, people, you probably remember him, even though he was fun. He loved the game, and
I mean, a lot of players, you know, like Minnie tell me all the time. Minoso said, just wear the uniform, just like that.
Minnie Minoso said, right?
Wear uniform. The late Buck O'Neill said, wear it. Be proud of any baseball uniform. Just wear it. But I think to get the game going back, I think these players, they retired, they should wear the uniform occasionally when they go out. Just for the people, to bring so much joy in the world.
Now you recently, your birthday's on Halloween, right? So you had you had your 80th birthday recently, a big turnout, a big to-do. Unfortunately, I missed it. What are your plans? What are your plans coming up now? You're thinking about maybe going to the Hall of Fame.
Well,
what are the plans for Ronnie Woo Woo?
well, I plan to go down to the Hall of Fame to see the late Buck O'Neill get inducted, and Minoso get inducted, and whoever else on this, they're going to be inducted, you know. So there's a lot of baseball people, there's a lot of joy, a lot of good times there, you know. Sorry that Minnie's not here, Buck's not here to see him get into the Hall of Fame, but still, it'll be a celebration. They did a lot for the game while they was here. That's why I say, put back on the uniform, bring back the joy. Tell Major League Baseball, all teams, when you go out, put on the uniform and go. Enjoy the game, and make some kid happy, make somebody happy, make some grandfathers happy when they see you with your uniform on. It's for the love of the game.
It makes sense.
And they should bring it back, though. You got to do something, because baseball is good for a lot of people, saves a lot of people, but we got to put the uniform on, get it out there, support it more. And I think if you play for the game, I don't think you shouldn't be ashamed to occasionally wear your baseball uniform outside.
Right.
You should be wearing for the love of the game and keep the game going. Babe Ruth did it back in his day. They all did it.
Now that's a good thing to know. I didn't know that.
Babe Ruth
They wore
did.
their uniforms outside of the game. Huh?
Even the Negro League, they wore the uniform going from bus to bus with the traveling all-star. They put the uniform on, rode 10 miles or whatever, get off and play the game, put the uniform on. They wore it all the time, just like that. And it was fun then, you know. Now people go into suits and ties, but bring the game back where you got started from.
Yeah.
Wear the uniform. I think everybody should wear the uniform. Ex-ball player, baseball been good to them, you can at least still support the game by wearing a uniform, and they should really wear a uniform. Any major league team, any major league player should put back on the uniform. I think that they should do that, though, you know.
Well, I think that's a great idea, and it was really a pleasure to get to sit down with you today on this beautiful day with Wrigley Field and in the backdrop here with the marquee, and Wrigleyville is hopping today. College basketball games going on, and
you got to just put back on the uniform. 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 For the love of the game. For the love of the game. Put back on the uniform. Me and you and your buddy Ronnie Wood.
yay!
Trio, 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 trio. Number one, number one, number one, number one. Cubs win.